All right, so we're going to talk about the difference between self-publishing versus traditional publishing. So I got my book over here, Leveling Up. It's coming out. And yeah, I want to talk a lot about bookmarking. We spent a lot of time and energy. My team worked really hard on this. We have daily stand-ups to talk about it, which I think we'll talk about how to do a launch, how to actually do a book launch successfully. We'll talk about that. But when you go with traditional publishing, the beauty of it is that you might get an advance, so you get cash, and you have the clout behind going behind one of these Simon and Schuster or Penguin or Random House, like these big publishers, right? So there's a sense of validity around it. If you go with self-publishing, you have a lot more control. Self-publishing, you can publish anywhere. You can put people into book funnels. With traditional publishing, you don't own the rights, right? So there's a lot of different nuances that you have to consider. With self-publishing, you don't get the, you have to figure out, okay, who's going to print the books, who's going to do all the legwork, that type of stuff, right? And so if you're okay with self-publishing where you have to figure out the logistics around it, and by the way, there's a lot of self-publishing companies you can use now, you can certainly do that. What I elected to do, and why this answer is kind of a trick question, is this book over here is neither. This is hybrid publishing. And so if you go traditional, another benefit would be they have their sales team that will help push it, right? But what I've heard from traditional authors is that the sales team typically doesn't do a lot. They're not going to help a lot with marketing. Really, they're expecting you to have a big email list. They're expecting you to have an audience. The benefit they're giving you is they're giving you an advance, but they control the rights of the book. You're also not going to make a lot of money on the book because they take the lion's share of the revenues. Maybe you get a little royalty, okay? Now, when you go with a hybrid publishing model like this, you get the benefit of the best of both worlds. And so Page Two, they're the ones, I read this book called The Coaching Habit a couple years ago in Japan. I actually read it cover to cover, probably the only book I read cover to cover. But I was like, oh, Page Two really did a good job. So I ended up going with them. And their sales team has helped sell through to Barnes & Noble, to Amazon, and they're pushing internationally right now. Their marketing team has been super helpful. They actually gave me a PR company to work with as well. So we're about to get on, IGN, which is a big gaming publishing website. And, we might get on CNBC, we might get on CNN. We'll see what happens, right? But it seems like progress is being made on the marketing and kind of sales front. Our job on the marketing front is we're publishing to our audiences right now too. And the beauty of this is if I want to put people into a book funnel, if I want to market however I want to market after, I can do that. I can't do that with a traditional, right? So I don't get an advance. That's fine because I'm not necessarily trying to make money with this book out the gate. That was never the intention when I first started to write this book. It's to get the message out there. To have a sales team helping me sell to, for example, get these into airports so people can see it, get into Barnes & Noble as an example, that's powerful. And by the way, all I did was I wrote this book. Sure, I gave creative direction around the cover. I kind of helped, gave direction around this as well, kind of the character, and then the guide over here. We went through a lot of different fonts. There's like over 120 swords I went through, or maybe 200 swords I had to pick through. There's a lot that happened, but at the end of the day, I just wrote a bunch of text and I picked some designers and then they made it happen. They made the magic happen. So this thing just appeared in front of me. And, it's really magical to have a physical kind of copy in front of you. So I didn't have to worry about the logistics. I didn't have to worry about the sales. They're guiding me along the way. They've been super helpful, Page Two. And at the end of the day, I collect more revenues from the book if I want to make money from it, right? And I can actually use my marketing powers, right, to blow the book up. So it's really up to you what you want to do. You can do traditional. If you want an advance, again, you might have different goals. Self-publishing, maybe if you just want to publish a bunch of books out there and maybe you're publishing things rapidly. But for me, I want the message to spread. So I want a super high quality book. I want the help of a kind of a traditional publisher. And, I get the best of both worlds, right? So that's what it basically is. All right. So don't forget to check out the next video over there. Okay. Over there. And before we go, open a new tab, levelingup.com, to learn more about the book. We may or may not have other goodies tied to this book. All right. Levelingup.com in a new tab. You can check out the next video first in a new tab, and we'll see you later.